Well, Kenny and I are married. We met at the Groundlings, doing comedy. We've just worked together from the beginning. We met in a class. We did a bunch of shows together. We've always written together. We've always written for each other.
Yeah. So our our relationship was started with us acting and working together. So it's not hard. I mean, yes, granted, we were playing people who eventually, have to like kiss and stuff. Like, that's easy, but
it's super weird when you're making out with your husband and there's all these people in the room watching you.
Yeah, it's never as like cool as it seems, because there's like a bunch of people there and it's hot, and it's like, even when it's like your wife, it's still not like,
weird.
God, this is super, let's go home. I'm super turned on right now after sitting in this room for 4 hours and, crowded and it's hot. And,
but then, hi,
I'm talking.
I am Lisa Rudin. I was the producer on the movie.
And I am Eric Kissack. I'm the director on the movie being Love, Sex, and Misconnections.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking to work and I was like, what if somebody like responded to a Misconnections ad and then came up with this whole idea, and I told it to her and was like, is that a good idea? And she thought it was a good idea.
He pitched me like 3 or 4 ideas and I was like, that one's good. And then we talked to
another person,
some people
and they were
that
like, that idea is really good. I've never heard of that.
You should go for that one.
And
then he wrote it on our honeymoon. The whole time he was writing the movie on our honeymoon.
Yep. There's photographic evidence of that.
Yeah. He was like, let's make a movie. And I was like, oh, I want a house. And he was like, let's make a movie. And I was like, oh, okay. Twist my arm.
And we still don't have a house.
But we have a movie.
Cop showed up one day.
Yeah, we almost got shut down. That was
We got arrested.
Yeah.
I don't know how close we came to being arrested, but the cops did show up. We didn't have a permit. They said that they could arrest us, I think.
Yeah, or they could have fined us, which also would have been terrible. And they set us down and had a meeting with us.
And they were kind of really nice about it. It was weird.
But they were special film cops.
Were they?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They were special film cops that are...
Just making that up.
No, I'm serious. This is the right
what, like they had agents?
No, there's special cops that deal specifically with filming.
Rogue
and,
Productions.
Yeah, and I guess we were filming by a traffic light, and we did see the Department of Transportation guy near the light.
He ratted us out.
I think he ratted us out
cops.
when we crossed against the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty fast once we decided the script is done, and Lisa was on board and
Once
Eric
Lisa
was
came
on board.
Yeah, things moved very quickly. I mean, we had about a year of consistent rewrites and table reads and tooling and retooling, and then once Lisa came on board and introduced us to Eric, and Eric was on board, it was, because the interesting thing about our movie is that it was written with all the actors in mind. 99.9% of the actors in mind.
The first thing we shot in the entire movie was the bare ass of the dream sequence, and there's a bare ass. That's like
in the living room.
That is the first thing that we shot, and I remember sitting there getting ready to do it, just thinking like, I cannot believe that we're doing this. Like literally, like Lisa turned to us like a month and a half earlier and was like, hey, we're gonna shoot this, like guys, we're gonna do this in like May, it's gonna happen. Being like, what? And she being like, it's okay, we got this, we're gonna do it.
I cannot believe that I am staring at Avi's junk.
Well, it wasn't
this
his junk.
early
It was
in the
like
morning.
a cod piece. Well, that crossed my mind too.
I made a penis patch with double stick tape so that he could like hide his penis.
It was funny. It was very clever, actually. I remember reading it and being like, that's a clever idea. That's a decent idea. It has not been done before. Really original. And the dialogue was really natural and funny.
It was a great idea. It had a really natural tone to it. It was really kind of very easygoing and very funny. It was written for what it was. This movie felt like, it was written by someone who wanted to make it kind of DIY, like just a bunch of people getting together and making a movie, which is sort of what we did. And so, you know, you read it and it was like, A, this story is good and it could be a movie, and B, it can be a movie. Literally, what is on the page can be made into a movie by us.
Hair and makeup was one of my best friends.
And the DP was a friend of a friend, or friend of a friend.
But I mean, the crew eventually became our friend.
Yeah, I think most of the crew would say that when they worked on the movie, and this was my experience of being on set every day, was that, you know, it was a really nice environment to work in, because they saw how us as actors were, how passionate we were about it, and how willing to play we were. And so it wasn't, you know, it was an environment where they could, you know, everyone got their work done and did a great job, but it wasn't, you know, it was never really tense. It was never.
No, it wasn't one of those sets that you go onto and you're like, I better not screw up.
I've been on those sets.
Yeah.
I was a PA for a year and a half.
I also have to
some
say,
terrible shoots.
People really enjoyed coming to set because of the food.
This one. Hold on. There's a horn right here, and it says Dorian Davies on it, and she just tooted it. She just tooted her own horn.
my own horn.
Yeah, because she did most of the catering on the movie.
Well, there were a couple Subway days. Those were the days that I was shooting. But we did. My friend Brian and I, we made all the food. And it was so nice, because if you have people and they're working for free, which a lot of people were, like our actors, for the most part, they donated their paychecks back to the project. So if people are working for free, you gotta feed them and love them and be appreciative.
There's an independent filmmaking secret.
Yeah.
Just feed your people while it goes a long way.
Yeah.
We certainly will.
I sure hope so. I mean, I hope we get to work together a lot more in the future. We made a short film, actually. Lisa, I directed it. Lisa produced it. Kenny and Dorian are both in it, and it's premiering in June at the Palm Springs Short Film Festival, which is very exciting. And we're planning to shoot a presentation pilot later this month for a comedy idea that probably find some way to get Kenny and Dorian in somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the other actors from the movie is in it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, it's this group of, you know, everyone in the movie is a groundling or an Upright Citizens Brigade comedian. These local LA, you know, kind of comedy groups, and they're all so talented, and a lot of them, you know, we want to work with a lot of them, just, you know, whatever kind of zany comedy ideas they have.
Yeah.
It's movie magic.
It's movie magic.
It's all, what is it called, forced perspective. So there's like, the table was actually, there was enough, it didn't seem like there was, but there was enough space at the edge of the table, so we had like a towel on the ground, and so I would just constantly like let the one thing fall, and it would just hit the ground, and then the camera tilted down, and we already had it set perfectly on the bread. We tried actually having it hit, and it was just like, why are we making this harder on ourselves?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I mean, it was clever though. Eric
Yeah.
had all these really clever solutions for stuff. Like we used my car in a parking garage on the slope when Sammy and I are walking down from after the fish market, and we're walking down, and we didn't have a dolly that day. They put the camera in the back of our car and just put it in neutral and coasted down.
It's like a lot of this stuff.
I mean, there's just there were
everything
so
that's
many
in a parking garage is all used to.
really clever solutions that Eric and Kat came up with that were just like, oh, awesome, and it makes it look like it's a more expensive movie, you know. So do the helicopter shots.
Use your car instead of a crane.
A crane? You wouldn't be able to. A dolly.
Sure, dolly. Yeah. Oh, because you went to film school.
It is hilarious, and they want to see more from this filmmaking team. And they want to finance the next few projects.
No. That'd be great. Yeah, I mean, I hope people see the movie. I hope people see the movie and think it was hilarious and funny, and they want to see more from us. I hope people see it and are kind of pleasantly surprised at the kind of level of professionalism behind it, because you hear about indie films and you have a certain idea in your head, and you don't quite necessarily think that your experience watching it can be as enjoyable as when you plunk down your money to see the latest Will Ferrell film or something like that. I think indie has this kind of aura about it of being like dark and difficult, and our movie is not that, and we're not ashamed about that at all.
No, we just want people to enjoy it.
People enjoy it, but at the same time, it does feel indie. Like it doesn't feel as kind of smooth and soulless as a lot of Hollywood movies. And so hopefully, it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You experience a fresh voice, Kenny, a fresh face, many fresh faces, and but also you sort of have that kind of, that warm fuzzy feeling that the best of Hollywood can do, of just sort of making you feel like it's a good story and an amusing one.